Good?
Yep.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this Wednesday night. I'm traveling down I-35, coming from Eden, Oklahoma. We just came from a conference where I spoke to an empowering women group, which was really exciting. So I'm coming back, and I have some crazy exciting news for all of you. You guys, we need to have a save the date put in our calendar to bring in the Happy New Year together on January 1st and 2nd. So make sure you save that date. You'll get more details a little bit later. We'll make an announcement in November as to what that means. So everybody get real excited about that, because you know for a fact that it's going to be phenomenal bringing in the new year as we embrace 2016 together. Crazy, isn't it? Time flies so fast. Anyways, tonight is going to be a great night. My beautiful sister Vicki is taking the lead, and she's got a training that she prepared with certainly every single one of you in mind. And I'm excited to get to learn from her tonight and take notes as we're going down the road. I love you, Vicki. Thank you so much for your amazing leadership and all that you do to pour into all of us. I love you, and I will go ahead and mute my phone. Hopefully it will work. If not, then you can mute me, which you've done your whole life.
Hey, I'm okay with that. I'll be happy to. Okay, guys, let me go ahead and do that real quick. Thank you guys for hopping on tonight. I am so excited to get to share with all of you guys, and certainly get to spend some time with you. As we talk tonight and share, I want to kind of start off with a couple of things. First of all, I'll tell you this. The hardest part of tonight's training and preparing for it was making sure my hair and makeup was done, since I'm on Zoom tonight. So the rest of it's going to be a breeze. But grab your pen and paper, because I do have some things to share with you guys that I hope you will find valuable. This is a training that I actually did a few weeks ago for my Central Nation, but I've added a few things to it. So my hope is that my team that's heard some of this information before will take away some new things. Maybe some new things will surface from the training. But my hope is also that that those of you that haven't will be able to take away some incredible nuggets, maybe even some ideas that you can implement right away that are kind of interwoven into our training tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and share our screen. The first thing I'm going to talk about tonight, actually, before we get started in our training, is, of course, our GTC registration. If you have not, I know many of you have already done this, but if you have not registered for GTC for our once-a-year conference, which happens to be in Vegas in April, you'll see the dates there, April 14th through 16th, I encourage you to do so. Arbonne is offering some incredible incentives to help us get registered early at a much discounted price, as well as an early bird bonus pack with new product. So the early bird registration is through the end of this month, through Saturday. So make sure that you get yourself registered so you can take advantage of all that Arbonne's offering us to register early. After that, the registration will continue to be at that discounted rate. However, you won't receive the extra bonus pack, but you still get a great rate through December 31st. And then all of your brand new consultants that signed up in October through our conference are going to get an even more discounted rate to help them get their business up and running. So I encourage you to not only get yourself registered, but encourage your team, your new team that you bring on, and let them know how important this particular conference is. As Carlita told me when I was first starting my business, if you're serious about your business, GTC is not a negotiation. It is a priority. And so I'm going to tell you the same. It is an absolute priority to get signed up. What you take away from that conference is not something we can package up and bring home to you. You have to go and be a part of it to experience it and to learn it firsthand to gain the most benefit. So I encourage you to do that. They are expecting a sellout crowd. We almost sold out last year. We were right on the verge of selling out, so there's no doubt in my mind that we won't sell out this year. So I encourage you to get signed up as quickly as you can. They are also offering a way that you can have a payment plan. So if that's a better situation for you and your budget, do know there's a payment plan option, and you can view those details on the source through arbonne.com. So we're going to now that we've shared a little bit about GTC, we're going to go ahead and jump into our training for tonight. Again, I hope you've taken some time to grab your pen and papers. I hope that tonight you will have pages of notes that you can take away and gain tonight. Tonight's training, you guys, is on Arbonne VP. I've titled it Arbonne VP, The Real Story. And tonight, my hope is that you will be able to see what it means to become an Arbonne VP. You know, sometimes we always see the VPs in Arbonne where they are right now, but we forget where they started. And so we're going to talk about the real story and what that progress looks like. And we're going to integrate some nuts and bolts that are going to help you progress your business towards that particular level as well. But as we start tonight, the first thing I want to do is kind of give you a starting question. I want you to begin to think about this, okay? I want you to think about, what does a business administrator, a stay-at-home mom, a Gen Y college student who isn't able to pass her pharmaceutical test to be able to get into pharmacy school, so she trains as a hairstylist instead. What is a math teacher, a business analyst, a high school counselor, a human resource manager, a corporate trainer for CVS, and a special ed teacher all have in common? What do they all have in common? Well, you guys, all of those individuals were top executive national vice presidents and new national vice president trainers on our cruise. They were the people who were selected to train all of us that were able to attend the AIT trip a couple of weeks ago. Some were from the United States, some were from Canada, some were from the UK, and some were from Australia. It didn't matter their background, their degree, their past successes, or past failures. It didn't matter where they lived or even how they lived. All of them came into Arbonne with hesitations, with fears, and self-doubt. But more importantly, they had a desire to make a change for their family. And that desire overshadowed those hesitations, those fears, and the self-doubt. They trusted the system that they knew was proven, and they knew that they had to become more, to have more, to share more, so they could be more to all of those around them. It was a decision, you guys, that changed the course of their life, the course of their family's future. The same decision that each and every one of us have that are on this call tonight. So I want to ask you for just a moment to take some time and reflect. Think about the people in your life. I want you to take a moment and think about your high school friends, think about your college friends, your family members, and I want you to ask yourself, how many of those people that are flashing through your mind, how many of those people are out there chasing their dreams, okay? How many of those people are living out their dreams right now? They're living them out. And who of them are living to their greatest potential? Now, of those same people that were flashing through your mind, I want you to take the flip side of that. And now I want you to ask yourself, how many of those people in your life, high school friends, college friends, family members, etc., how many of them are living life doing the day in, the day out, just getting by with a dead-end job? Not because they love it, but because it's a means to an end. How many of them are dreading work tomorrow? How many of them are settling for less than their best and giving their best energy to a dead-end job? You know, why do you think Most people never pursue their dreams or their goals in life, or even attempt to work toward them. I think it's because of 3 reasons, you guys. I think that's what it kind of boils down to in my mind. Number 1, they don't think that they can. Okay? They're just following that status quo, maybe the example that's been set for them in their family. And they're going to school to get a job to pay for the school, right? That got them the job. And it's just this vicious cycle, and they're living that mundane life. Maybe they're listening to their false self telling them they can't be more, to have more, or to have life differently. Number 2, maybe it's because they don't know how. They don't know that there's another way. They haven't heard of an opportunity like this that can give them an equal playing field, that can give them the opportunity, regardless of their degree, their age, their gender, their past, their profile, their resume, an opportunity that can allow them to have the life that they dreamed of, the life that they choose. Or maybe it's because of number 3. Maybe it's just easier not to. You don't have to grow to stay where you are, right? Maybe they think success should come easy, and the minute they hit a bump in the road or a snag in their journey, they start excusing that dream that they had away, right? They believe that success should just be a straight line, straight path all the way. And so instead, what they will do, you guys, is they will dread and they will push through 5 days of the week in survival mode, just to live how they choose for a 2-day weekend, only to start that cycle again on Monday. Instead of taking hold of their life and creating the life they want to live for 7 days of the week, living how they want with whom they want. You guys, anything worth working for, it takes determination, it takes focused attention, it takes time, and it takes effort, right? I mean, that's no surprise. But some people will give all their energy to a dead-end job instead, because it's just easier to do. This reminds me, you guys, of a story, and some of you have heard this story as well, but many years ago, as a young child in one of my favorite books, I heard the story of the foolish man who built his house on the sand versus the wise man who built his house upon the rock, right? You guys have probably heard this. Well, as I reflected on the people in my life that were chasing their dreams and people who were just living for a means to an end kind of lifestyle, it reminded me of this story. Most people will build their house or their life on sand with no quality of life, just to get by, to choose the path most traveled because it doesn't take work, it doesn't take extra effort, and it's quite frankly quick and easy, right? And then what happens is life. Life happens to them, and guess what? It takes them out. It takes them out. And the wise man built his house upon the rock. This person knows, they have the freedom to know what they have built will withstand any storm that comes their way, any life happenings that come their way. Though it took more work and it took more effort and more energy to build it on the front end, they can now live peacefully knowing that they have created something that is their very own. Because they knew while they were building it that it was worth it, all the sacrifices in the end, right? So tonight I want to put an emphasis on the word building. What are you building your foundation on? What are you building? And are you building with excellence, you guys? Are you choosing to build with excellence? In this business, you guys, we are building a lifestyle for our families. Let me say that again. We are building a lifestyle for our future, for our families, right? And building anything, doesn't matter, but building doesn't happen overnight if it's done with excellence. So we're going to learn today what it takes to become a successful VP. All right, we're going to learn how to build a successful business to the VP level. And I'm going to use the word Arbonne VP for those of you taking notes. I'm going to use the word Arbonne VP as an acronym to share with you how you can build your business to that level of success, okay? So let's start with A, right? A stands for activity breeds attitude. Activity breeds attitude. You know, the only boss you have in Arbonne is your calendar. That's it. It's the only boss you have in Arbonne. And we know that in this business, self-discipline is one of the most powerful attributes that you can have. Because the beauty of it is we don't have anybody clocking us in, clocking us out, right? Telling us what to do, when to do it. So we have to be self-disciplined in our business. And we know that a little bit of Arbonne every day goes a long way, right? A little bit of Arbonne every day goes a long way. And I love what Executive National Vice President Debbie Neal says. She said, as she was training on the cruise, she said, expect to build a balanced business, but don't expect to be balanced when you build it. Isn't that awesome? And so true. Expect to build a balanced business, but don't expect to be balanced while you build it. Strive for excellence in this business, you guys. Don't settle for the status quo. If I was to tell you there are 30 ways to be successful in Arbonne, the first way would be activity. Absolutely activity. The second thing I would tell you is to focus on number one, activity. And the third thing that I would tell you is go back to number one. Okay, nothing else matters. And that's just the bottom line, you guys. Activity fixes everything. I believe it's the cure-all for any element that you have in your business. Activity is the cure-all for sure. There's nothing in this business that activity can't fix, whether it's your lack of belief, your skill set, your paycheck, your growth in your business, your growth in you, sponsoring new team members, your confidence, your volume growth, your promotions, even your attitude. There's nothing it will not cure. It really is the cure-all. Your odds for success, you guys, go up with every presentation you have. And you've heard that from Heidi Appling. Your odds go up with every activity you add to your calendar. If you're only doing a few presentations a month, guess what? You're choosing to lower your odds, right, for success. What your calendar, so I'm going to ask you guys, what is your calendar saying about your business? What is it saying about your business? Is it saying that you're interested in building a business or in achieving your goals and dreams for your family? Or is it saying I am committed to building a business with Arbonne and achieving my goals and dreams for my family through this opportunity? What does your calendar say? Because I promise you, it screams your commitment level loud and clear. There is a difference, you guys, also between executing and booking activities. And we all know that. Bookings cancel. That's inevitable in this business. We are an appointment-based business, and all appointment-based businesses in the history of our world have cancellations. Arbonne is no different. Cancellations are inevitable. So I am going to share some information with you based on the execution of your events, because we can book all day, but if we don't keep them, we still get nowhere fast, right? So we want to book them, but we want to keep them and execute on them. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time to think on a few things. And this is me challenging you to raise the bar of the level of activity that you have. So no matter where you are in your business, if you have a few activities or a lot of activities, no matter where you are, you can change the degree of your activity. You can absolutely do that. So let's talk about executing. Number one, if you're executing 1 to 4 activities a month, that's saying that you are working Arbonne as a hobby. And that may step on a few toes, but really that's what a hobbyist would do in this business. You're getting a paycheck that's simply paying for your hobby, right? Maybe paying for your paychecks. So you've got to expect that hobby paycheck, right? If you're giving it If you're giving it hobby time, expect a hobby paycheck. If you're executing 5 to 7 activities, then you're basically dabbling to maybe even support your personal purchases. And that's just showing that you simply love the product, right? You're probably pretty Arbonized at that point. If you're executing 8 activities, we know that 8 is to be great in this business, right? We know 8 can move your business forward. But that also is working the plan, but it's really working it at the bare minimum, right? And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That's still going to breed success. But if you're doing 9+ activities a month, appointments, doesn't matter the reach out method at all, appointments, one-on-ones, coffee dates, bringing people, guests to activities, your personal parties, you're working with excellence, okay? You're working with excellence, and you're going to grow massive momentum in that process. There's no doubt. So if you want your business beyond where it is today, you guys, you've got to increase your odds. So you've got to increase your activity in order to do that. That is the absolute truth. And you're going to be in love with this business when you have a full calendar, okay? I promise you. When you've got an attitude of gratitude, that will attract other people to your business, I promise. And activity will change your attitude, and you will be more in love with this business than you ever have before. The next slide I want to share with you is the R in Arbonne. Recipe for success with resilience. You've got to work that recipe for success with resilience. That's what VP to Bs do in this business. Now, what does that mean? We know that there's 6 S's in Arbonne. Well, first of all, scheduling, sales, sponsoring. Those are all created with activity. They're a result. They're a byproduct of having activity. You're going to get scheduled activity. You're going to get sales. You're going to get sponsoring when you have activity. No doubt about that. But staying plugged in, self-development, and servicing customers are just as important. But they're also what you do behind the scenes, right? They're what you do in your private moments that are going to create success, but equally important to your success in this business. So you've got to work that recipe. The sooner you embrace every aspect of the recipe, the sooner you're going to grow a wildly successful business, quite frankly. So don't mess with the recipe like Carlita tells us. Every ingredient is important. You guys, we grow businesses, but we also grow people, right? Every Eye on Arbonne story is a story of resilience. Every Eye on Arbonne story is an overcomer, somebody that is someone conquering fears or obstacles or hesitations or frustrations or disappointments or life happenings. Every single one of them. It's really just a normal part of success, period. All right? The difference is that they are consistent with the recipe despite those disappointments, despite those life happenings, despite their obstacles that they have. They just keep putting one foot in front of the other, right? We fail forward in this business. We fail forward. We gain yards every time we're knocked down. We get up and we gain yards, and that's the nature of this business. And you know, leaders in this business, they learn to grow a rubber bottom, right? You've probably heard that before, because when we're knocked down, we just bounce right back up. Now, it doesn't mean it felt good, but it just means we're resilient. We know that we have to get back up in order to gain yards and to move our business forward. We don't stay down for anything. And I think that's what sets Arbonne consultants apart from the rest of the world. It's not the setbacks, you guys, that matter. It really is the comebacks that make you a success. So be resilient with the recipe. Not everything is going to go as you have planned or as you have mapped out or maybe even envisioned, but everything will lead you on your path to the top in this business. No doubt about that. The B stands for believe in the best you. Believe in the best you. Don't wish it were easier, you guys. Wish that you were better, right? What are you reading right now? What are you doing for yourself to stretch yourself, to learn, to grow beyond where you are right now? When we walked alongside the pool or even the beach side when we were on the trip, we were surrounded by thousands of consultants, right? Or hundreds of consultants. And I guarantee you every other one of them, if not more than that, had a book in their hand, had a personal development book that they were feeding themselves as they were relaxing on the beach. leaders are readers and readers are leaders. So relish reading, you guys. Reading personal development books helps you control your mindset, which is so much about what we do in this business to get successful. So much of this business is about mind over matter, and those books help you do that. You know, we tend to listen to our false self telling us all the lies, and we battle that. We all battle that, and that false self never goes away. It never leaves you alone. That's why it's so important that you read the truth about what you're capable of, that you read books that are going to breathe life into you, so that when your false self begins to attack, you have the truth that will speak louder to you. And you've got to make sure that you fill yourself up so that you have something to pour out when you need it most. You have to make sure your true self is louder. If you're not growing, guys, you're slowing in this business. And one of the hidden benefits of this business is that you are surrounded by people that will challenge you and inspire you to be the best you. That is one of the things I absolutely love. And they will challenge you in ways that maybe you've never been challenged before in your life. You know, people don't quit Arbonne. They don't. They quit on themselves. They quit on themselves because either they've listened to their false self too much that they finally caved to it. I want you guys to rise up. I want you guys to recognize it when it happens and to be overcomers and conquerors, so that your eye on Arbonne's story will be able to breathe life into somebody else who needs to hear what you experienced. So keep your tank full at all times so that you keep your mind strong at all times. Now, the O stands for opportunity over obstacles. I want you guys to see the opportunity that you have in your hands and let it outweigh any obstacle that you could possibly encounter in this business. Are you focusing on your opportunity or your obstacle, right? We know that whatever we focus on, we breed more of, right? So you want to focus on the opportunity that you have and make sure that it overpowers any obstacle that you could encounter. And I love what Debbie Neal said. Again, a great trainer, but one of the things that she said is, you know, oftentimes I'm asked by people that I'm sponsoring or that I'm sharing Arbonne's opportunity with, I'm oftentimes asked, well, Debbie, what are my odds at being a success in this business? And I love her reply. She says, well, you know, it's the same company. It's the same products. It's the same startup fee. Really, the only variable is you. So you tell me, what are your odds to being a success in this business? You guys, that's what it boils down to is what are you willing to do to stretch yourself, to grow out of your comfort zone, to engage in the recipe for success wholeheartedly so that you can overcome those obstacles. Because guess what? Obstacles are going to come and obstacles are going to go. But what you're building in this business is going to have lasting effects for you. So what are you building? You have to plant your feet on solid ground and don't lose sight of why you're in this business and why you started this business to begin with. Have a no backdoor mentality and stay the course, even if the journey takes you down a different path, right? The next is N, and N stands for network, then nurture. You know, the recipe calls for sharing Arbonne with 40 to 50 people a month. What reach out method you choose to use to reach that number of people is totally up to you. Whether it's one-on-ones, group presentations, it's really your call. But that is the math formulation, you guys, for success in Arbonne. You have to network. Most people that will be in your business 10 years from now are not going to be people that you know right now. They're just not, right? That's the beauty of this business, is who it introduces you to. You do not know enough people to gain success, the tip-top success of this business right now. You don't know enough people, but you don't have to. You just have to know a few and be willing to get out there and network. That's one of the reasons I absolutely love the 3 Ask a Day challenge. Number one, because it's a manageable challenge and it's being on purpose, you know, every single day with your business, being on purpose for sharing Arbonne. Each person you share Arbonne with, remember, it's not the end of a sale, but it's the beginning of a relationship that you have the privilege of nurturing at that point. People are more attracted to the culture of Arbonne than the strategy of Arbonne, right? And Carlita said it best when she said and shared with those of us that were on the trip. She said, culture beats out strategy every time. So what kind of culture are you creating with your network? What kind of culture are you creating within your organization and your circle of influence, you guys? Because people will not buy Arbonne before they buy you. They buy you first before they ever look at this as an opportunity for themselves. The next point I want to share is the other N, and the other N stands for new beginnings if you never quit, right? You've got to have a why. That why has to be absolutely powerful because it is the energy source that's going to keep you in the game when things get tough. Not if things get tough, but when things get tough. Your why, if your why is meaningful enough, you will fight for it, period. If it's meaningful enough, you will fight for it. If it isn't, then you'll find excuses for it, right? You'll find excuses. Whys create your how. You guys, we've all heard this saying, if there's a will, there's a way. And that has never meant more to me than when I started my Arbonne business. But I'm gonna add a piece to that just kind of came to me, and I thought, boy, this is so true. But I'm going to add a little part of that on the front end. You guys, if there is a why, there is a will. And if there's a will, there's a way. That's how I see it. You guys, you've got to make sure that that why is in place because it's what's going to motivate you. It's what's going to inspire you every day to get up early and stay up late to work on your dreams and to fight for them. So do your whys have faces? You guys, are they heartfelt? Do they tug at your heartstrings? What is it that you want to accomplish? What are your whys going to accomplish for your family? And I'm going to ask you this, what is not accomplishing those whys costing your family? Because not having them, I promise you, is sacrificing something. Is it sacrificing a relationship? Is it sacrificing time with your family and the ones that you love the most? Is it creating stress? Is it costing you stress and worry in your life? You know, here's what I want you to do. Close the back door, you guys. Close the back door and stay the course. Whether it be 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years, it's going to pass with or without Arbonne. So I encourage you to embrace the new beginnings that you have. Stay the course to achieve your whys and know that they're worth it. Embrace those new beginnings, you guys, and never quit, and they will be yours. You will make them a reality. The E stands for empower others with endless benefits. Most people come into this business, you guys, because of what this business can do for them financially. And quite frankly, that's why I came into Arbonne initially, is because our family needed a little bit of breathing room at the end of the month, right? We have to help ourselves, right, in this business. And that's a lot of times what attracts us into the business. It's kind of like that plane analogy when you think about, you know, they come over the speaker and they say, you know, make sure that you have the oxygen mask on first before you can help the person sitting next to you or help your child. You've got to take care of you. I agree with that. The same is true. However, the magnified version of this in this business is that we get to help others while helping ourselves, right? We get to help others at the same time that we help ourselves. In fact, we get paid to help people get successful in this business. That's what we get paid for. The more people we help, the more successful we become in this business. And quite frankly, the more fulfilled we become in life. You get paid infinity wide in Arbonne. You get paid infinity wide, right? So why wouldn't you go out and share this business with everyone you know? And another Debbie-ism, she said, if you don't like your paycheck, you earned it, okay? If you don't like your paycheck, you earned it, but you can do something about it. There is no cap in your width in this business, you guys. Who are you sharing these endless benefits with this month and next month and the month after that? Do you have a list of people that you're talking to and on purpose with to share that with? Who are you taking on this journey with you, right? Who are those people that flash in your mind that are just living the mundane life because they don't know how or they don't know that this even exists out there? Who is it that you can share this with and take on this journey? You know, not everyone will understand the magnitude of this business, the way that you do, they won't understand it that way at first necessarily, but get them to an event, get them to engaged in something and exposed to a Discover Arbonne event or a call or a coffee date where they can see the bigger picture. Help them see what it is that you see. Paint that picture for them. Remember, people are watching you. Your belief has a sound in this business, and others are hearing you loud and clear. So what does your belief say? What does it say? Share your wins with people. Share the benefits that this opportunity has to offer, just in a normal, everyday setting. Some of you do that beautifully on Facebook, but share the highlights of what this business is doing for your family. Our job is to share this business. It's their job to decide. So take that pressure off of you. But my goal is to make sure that before I lay my head on my pillow and I accept their no, is that they know what they're saying no to. If they know what they're saying no to, I can rest assured that I've done my part. But until I've given them the information to make an informed decision or gotten them in front of that information and to give them the opportunity to have an informed decision, I haven't done my job yet, right? So go out and share with people and share with them how grateful you are about what Arbonne has done for you. Even though they don't get it at first, I'm going to tell you there are people in this business today that were on my chicken list, that were on my dream team at the very beginning of my start to this business, that I literally took everything in me to ask them and to approach them. And they were no's initially. They were no's for even some for years and months and months after I started my business, you guys. But those same people are the ones that thank me for being persistent, for sharing this with them and loving them enough to share with them what the bigger picture was. And I promise you, you'll have those same people in your same circle of influence. So be confident when you share this business with them and how this business can help them, because I promise you, you will be the person they thank one day because you didn't give up on them, because you were persistent and confident in what you had to offer them. So who are those people in your circle that you're going to go share this with? And go share it. The V stands for values create clear vision, you guys. Values create clear vision. There's a tremendous difference in an amateur builder's final product and a master builder's final product, right? The same is true for the foolish man that we talked about and the foolish man and the wise man that we talked about earlier in that analogy. An amateur builder, you guys, builds a house with a hobby attitude. He works when it's convenient and only when it feels like it. He lets procrastination and laziness set in only to cut corners in his craftsmanship just to get by, right? Just to get it done. Never really mastering the art of being a master builder, right? But a master builder, however, builds a house with a vision in mind, a purposeful plan, and a master builder builds when he feels like it and when he doesn't feel like it. He never lets fatigue, emotion, procrastination, and laziness set in. Doesn't mean he doesn't experience it. He just doesn't let it take over, right? He works with a focused mindset because of his clear-cut vision of the end masterpiece that he has in mind, that he's created in his mind. And he pays careful attention to detail and works with excellence by going above and beyond no matter what life throws at him. He doesn't quit or give in during the building stages, right? He doesn't quit in the middle of his project, right? He sees his masterpiece through to the end of the final product. His vision gets to become a reality because he sees it through, right? He sees it through. So I'm going to ask you guys, is your dream, is your why of staying home with your kids, having options in life, having retirement, maybe rescuing your husband from his workload or maybe his travel and time away from his family? Is your dream of being more present in your family's life or maybe living a life with purpose? Is your why worth being an amateur builder or is it worth being a master builder? because you get to decide that. You get to decide that. And the P in our Arbonne VP acronym stands for power of plugging in. And let me add, let me back up for just a minute. Being a master builder, let me kind of recall, being a master consultant, you guys, doesn't mean that you know it all. It just means that they're willing to do what it takes to gain the skills necessary to master the art of building. I think that's real important for you to know. We don't know it all, but we're willing to learn how to become a master builder. We let the priorities in our life be what create our vision of our life so that we can be the master builder and go build it, right? As we build it. Okay, so P stands for power of plugging in. And I want you to think of plugging in as your why or your dream bank, okay? Think of it as your why or your dream bank. Every time you show up on your region calls, on your Wednesday night calls, your local meetings, your Discover Arbonne meetings, every time you show up, it's an investment into your future. So it's a deposit into your dream bank, okay? It's a deposit into your Y bank. Every time you show up, every time you choose not to show up, you're taking a withdrawal, right? You're taking a withdrawal from that dream bank. We train in groups in this business, you guys. We know that iron sharpens iron, and so we choose to train in groups to maximize our time and to work smart in this business to make sure all of you are getting the information you need to be empowered and to go out and empower others. But you have to show up to go up in this business. Truth. Are you depositing more or withdrawing more in your dream bank? You ask yourself that question. Are you depositing more or withdrawing more? You know, most people go to formal education for 4 years to earn a degree, to learn a trade or a skill, to make an average paycheck for the rest of their life. They'll commit 4 years of sacrificing and educating themselves to become average in this life. And I see time and time again consultants that for some reason don't think they need to show up to the meetings or training calls to master this business, to educate themselves on how to be an owner of their life, right? To have ownership over their life and to gain the endless benefits of time and financial freedom. Building their own wealth instead of someone else's, investing in their own future and their own family, building security and stability, diversifying their income with a residual income and willable business, tax deductions, jewelry, recognition, travel, relationships, and positive influence, just to name a few. But tomorrow, they will get up early to attend an all-day conference for their current job just to stay where they are in life. But they won't show up for an hour call or a 30-minute call. So guys, if you want change in your life, you have to be willing to change the things you are doing, to change your way of thinking, to create the change you want to see. So are you interested in growing your business, or are you committed to growing your business towards your goals and your dreams? So, in closing, guys, I want to challenge you to review your notes from tonight on becoming an Arbonne VP before you go to bed. And I want to ask you, or say an Arbonne VP, you guys, is simply someone who has become a master builder along their journey. So I encourage you to embrace your business, take ownership of your business, and I'm going to ask you an all too familiar question, but it has a twist this time. Where will you be 5 years from now if you keep building the way you're building? And are you okay with that? You guys, I encourage you, I challenge you to become a master builder. Be committed to your whys enough to make your business your opportunity, your change for your future, so that you can live into your greatness, so you can live out your potential. You have the tools, that you need. But most importantly, you have everything, guys. You have everything within you to make a difference for your family. The same business, you've got the same opportunity, you've got the same startup fee as all the other VPs in this company. So guys, you tell me, what are your odds of being a success in Arbonne? What are your odds? You guys, go build the life that you love, and you will love the life you build. Go build your business like your dreams depend on it, and create your own VP story along the way. It's a journey, and you've got to build it and be a master builder in the process. You guys, how big is your dream? Go make it a reality. It is time for you guys to rise up and be who you were created to be, and go out and fight for what God has placed in your heart in the way of a dream and a desire, and go make a difference for your family, because number one, you know you can, you know how, and you have the opportunity to do it, and you have everything you need within you. So go out and be a master builder and build the life you want to love. I love each one of you. Thank you for your time tonight. Hopefully I didn't go over too much. Let me go ahead and stop sharing, and then I'll see if any of you have any questions for me